guys, Dean here from Escape to Gaming. I wanted to take the time and do a vlog, kind of let you know exactly what my plans are for the tail end of the summer, GTA5, the next-gen consoles, and kind of the overall direction of my channel. So anyway, I wanted to thank everyone very much for supporting my channel. I had a friend of mine recently that PM'd me a couple of weeks ago and said, dude, you just reached 100 subscribers. And it was really big news to me. It makes me feel really good inside that people, for whatever reason, like my little channel or like my show or get a kick out of it or share a common interest in either the games that we like or gaming in general. I mean, many of us have many different genres of gaming that we like. For some, we're just hardcore driving games and racing games, and that's great. I have another friend of mine, him and his son-in-law, it's all they do is play Call of Duty, and I think that's great too. I go over to their house, and I love to watch them play on their big screens. My nephews come over, and we play a lot of split screen games and co-op games, and I love that too. It's like a smorgasbord of fun. I mean, there's just so much available. Back in the day, you only had Pac-Man and Centipede and Asteroids and a couple, you can count virtually on one hand the fun games that were worth playing. And then slowly, every couple of years, there'd be a couple new games, and all of a sudden Miss Pac-Man arrived on the scene and stuff like that. And it was very fun back then because it was new. You never knew what was coming, and things just kept changing and morphing. All of a sudden, we had PC gaming, and then you had the Commodore 64 and the very first NES system and Sega Genesis. So I've watched it develop and change over the years to the exciting array of gaming that we have today. So many of us are younger, they're into gaming today, or that watch YouTube, and I don't think they fully appreciate just the rich buffet of games that we have today. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Many of us seem jaded. I don't know if we played too many games or like nothing. Meh, it's okay, it was alright. And if you grew up the way I did and saw how simplistic games were, you were just so thankful, almost like a piece of bread with nothing on it. Oh, thank God, and you just devour it. You were so hungry for anything that, gave you nourishment in the way of gaming. And that C64 in the beginning, I mean, looking back, as crude and rudimentary as the graphics were and the sound and the gameplay, it was so immersive. It was almost in some ways more vivid and more wonderful, and you relied more on your imagination to get you through those gaming experiences and all-nighters than you do today, where everything is so virtually, photorealistic and incredible today. So, I urge everyone, I've said this on some of my other, shows as well, to appreciate the games that we have today. Don't be so critical in the reviews. Take the time to kind of see it through the eyes of, a lot of hard-working artisans and developers worked hard in these games to bring something special to the table so that we could sit down for a few bucks, whether it's $60 or $15, and put this game in and have, 10 or 15 hours of wonderful immersion, or, 20 or 100 hours, depending if it's Skyrim or the new GTA5 coming out. I'm sure many of us will have 50 to 100 hours in that. So, gaming has just changed, and I am always very thankful for every game I have. I don't care if I paid $5 for it for a used PS2 game. I really don't care if it's $60 or $100 for a special edition. I'm happy to pay it. I'm happy to contribute and help support the gaming companies that I love. I want them to keep making more games. That's why it kind of saddens me. I just finished a wonderful game called The Bureau, XCOM Declassified, a fantastic game. I can't tell you how wonderful the game is, and honestly, it's one of my favorite games of the year. As wonderful as this game year has been, we've had some fantastic games that you can't get enough of. I mean, starting with that fantastic Tomb Raider, Bioshock Infinite, which I still need to finish, by the way, and The Last of Us, which I haven't even played yet. I'm saving that for a special occasion where I've got a good week and a half or so to go through the whole game. So I actually had kind of a lull in my work break. I've had like a treadmill for almost 5 months now of nonstop work. Occasionally I'm able to kind of pop my head in the door at home and check my Facebook and Twitter, and then I got to bolt back out the door, more sales calls, or do another painting project somewhere. But it's just been inundated with work, and I haven't been able to even finish many of the games from last year, let alone from this year. So, Tomb Raider I love and blew all the way through that in no time. And I've spent, as many of you know, the summer collecting many of these wonderful PlayStation 2 games And I've kind of been focusing on those and kind of reliving the good old days of the PlayStation and the regular Xbox. So even some of the games that I had for the regular Xbox, I'm buying for the PS2 and rediscovering them all over again. So many of those, I haven't even finished any of those, but some of them I'm close to finishing at the very end. I've got maybe 25% left of Roadkill, and I've been really having a great job, a great time playing many of these PS2 games. I'm kind of slowing down my purchases on those. I'm going to look for a couple more. Probably the Warriors by Rockstar is one that I want, and that's pretty much it. I might get the Bully Scholarship Edition for the Xbox 360 as well, but that should really kind of round out my older games. I'm pretty happy with my game collection as it is. Probably will be getting one of the newer Xbox 360 Slims. There should be a price drop around the holidays. I want to buy another one of those, get a data transfer cable, and back up and save those old games in save files while I still can. Because now I've heard that Microsoft is only going to continue making and supporting the Xbox 360 for another 3 years. I thought it was going to be at least 5 or 8 years, but it doesn't look great. So I'm hoping that once all that data is in my hard drive, with the patches and DLC and everything else, it'll always be there. That I won't have to rely on a heavy server-based games or what have you. So we'll see about that. And I might even get a backup PS3 as well. So I'm very happy with the current gen gamings. Games that we have in the gaming sessions that I've had. It's just been wonderful. I can't tell you, since '09, where I got my first Xbox 360 Elite, I have had a wonderful time of just adventure, deep immersion, night after night. Sometimes I have weeks off to, blow all the way through an LA Noire or, a Grand Theft Auto 4 or something like that. And then other times I can only get an hour here or 90 minutes there, and it's frustrating. So, in fact, I didn't even think I'd have the time to finish the Bureau XCOM Declassified. And all of a sudden, I just had a kind of a lull in a work week. A couple jobs fell through, and I'm actually kind of thankful. I mean, when I don't work, I don't make money, so I don't want to take too much time off from work. But at the same time, it's nice having the time where I can make these videos. It's nice having the time where I can watch some of my favorite movies or play games that I'm behind on. It means so much to me. So I have just been relishing in this. Finally, you know what? I might actually be able to finish XCOM Declassified before GTA5, and I just finished it last night. It is fantastic. I can't tell you how much fun I've had with that. The graphics are fantastic. The concept is really nice. I haven't played anything that kind of took place in the early 60s since the original From Russia with Love, 007, that came out for the PlayStation 2 and regular Xbox. That was the last game that kind of was in that period, in that era. It's kind of rare. You'll see a few from the 50s, like Mafia 2 or LA Noire from the late 40s, which is really cool. So I kind of like these old views of Americana back in the day. And of course, that's kind of my childhood growing up. Back, especially in the Portland, Maine, where I was raised, they were already like 20 years behind the time. So even though I grew up in the 60s and 70s, it was like growing up in the 50s pretty much, with the values and the cars and kind of the old-fashioned mindset. So, California is a much more progressive state. And so I quickly kind of jumped onto the fast-moving train of accepting what's new and, the future and technology and what's coming in the way of movies and gaming and all that. And I'm thankful for it. So, but I can't tell you how much fun I've had this summer. I'm very happy to have made many new friends through my YouTube videos, friends through Twitter and Facebook that are fellow gamers. The only regret that I have is that we all live so far away. I mean, many of you I've become actually pretty good friends with, a lot of private messaging, hours of Skype with some of my friends. Even one of my friends in Australia, we spent like 4.5 hours Skyping. And it's just wonderful to be able to converse and share the same passion in gaming that many of us have. To me, that's what it's all about. Whether my channel stays at 120 viewers, subscriptions, or whether it goes up to 1,000 someday or whatever, it doesn't matter to me. I do this because I love gaming like many of you, and I love meeting like-minded fellow gamers that have a real passion for gaming, and that have the gaming means as much to them as it does to me. It's a way of escapism. It's a way of getting away from just the grind of work, the grind of, I'm 50 years old, and I just get tired of doing physical work. I drive up to a giant 2-story house, and my God, where do I begin? And so what gets me through it is I'm thinking about, what game I'm going to play that night, what movie or an old 70s TV show I'm going to put in on DVD or what have you. Whether I'm watching, an episode of The Walking Dead or I'm watching an old Starsky and Hutch episode. To me, escapism through the mind and through the, via the television in particular, is fantastic. So I'm very excited about the future of gaming. Many of you know I've already reserved my PlayStation 4. Actually, the day after the E3 Sony press conference, I went immediately right down at 10 a.m. to my GameStop and pre-ordered one. So I'm going to be picking up Need for Speed Rivals and Killzone Shadowfall right off the bat. I'll probably get Battlefield 4 as well. It looks really good. And I guess if you get the PlayStation Gold or the year membership, that you get some variation of Drive Club for free. So I'm going to probably be involved with the Drive Club. I really like what I'm seeing with these games like the Division and the Crew. The Crew, I just saw just this morning an incredible trailer on that of the development of the game, showing how behind the scenes the detail they're putting into it. It is just fantastic. I mean, we're entering a whole new age of photorealism and really in-depth gaming like never before. For many, it will be something exciting like a Titanfall multiplayer deal or drop-in, drop-out kind of gaming where it's kind of seamless, whether it's a single-player or multiplayer experience. I'm not a big multiplayer person, although I do like co-op and split-screen on the couch. And maybe, I have a couple of friends of mine actually on YouTube who've said to me, PMs, dude, you got to get out of this mindset about multiplayer. Here, once you join me in Forza Horizon or Forza Force time, we'll have a blast. And I've done a little of that. I did a little Twisted Metal. I've played Need for Speed The Run online. I actually had a lot of fun with it and was fairly competitive in quite a few races. But again, I'm not real big on a lot of the the random lobbies and all that. Perhaps if I had a couple of good friends that I played with personally online, I'd have more fun with it. But the bottom line is I'm really pumped about this new PS4. The Xbox One, I'm going to have to wait. I'm still shopping out the PC. I'm kind of weighing out whether I'd get a new laptop right now, which would be nice because then I could be up close and personal with my television, my PVR, and my Xbox, setup, or my PS3. PS4, I guess we don't really know what's going on with the capturing. I've already heard multiple rumors on that both ways, even this morning. So I'm waiting to find out. In the worst case scenario, I can do what DSP Phil has done for years and just put a camera on a little tripod on my coffee table and keep filming that way. It's not ideal, but it works. So, in fact, I'm going to be, I want everyone to know that with this new upcoming release of GTA5, which I've got the limited edition, the $80 edition, it's the middle one. I didn't really have a need for, for the hat and the money bag and all that. So, and it has some great DLC that comes with it in a steel case and all that. So I'm very excited. I'm going to try to attempt the midnight release if my GameStop has one, and I'm pretty sure they will. I'm not going to miss that for anything. And I'll actually be filming, probably even if it's at night, my drive there, waiting in line for the game, getting home late at night, doing an unboxing video, and an initial impressions of it, which is going to be fantastic. And then I'm thinking of documenting some of my gameplay throughout the whole game. This is a game, this time around, I want to actually get all the way through the missions, as well as do a lot of the side quests, and the fun with the racing jet skis and cars, and stealing military jets with 6 police stars and trying to lose them and all that. It's going to be a blast. This is the most excited about a GTA game that I've been since Vice City. Now, GTA 3, there was no hype at the time. No one knew about Rockstar or Grand Theft Auto, so what the hell was this? But now we know. So even after, the Vice City, the tremendous amount of hype came out right before San Andreas, which was fantastic. And at GTA 4, I'm not a huge fan of. I think it's wonderful, the graphics. I love the physics of the driving and the shooting. The open world is gorgeous, the way it's rendered and done. But something about the characters, the constant cell phone ringing and all that, it looks like they've taken care of some of those elements that many gamers have complained about with GTA 4, and they're going to rectify that in the new GTA 5. So I can't wait. I already saw a map last night of how big it is and how many of the GTA 4 maps you can fit inside the giant GTA 5 map, and it's going to be insane. So I'm very excited. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll do my unboxing video, and then I'll probably make a few videos showing some of my gameplay, a couple of missions, and kind of documenting my gameplay through it, because I want to focus on getting through this game especially before the new PS4 comes out in November, and the Xbox One for some. So unfortunately, I have to wait on the Xbox One for a little bit until I get this PC figured out. I'm tempted just to get another i7, a nice tower that's powerful, that has a good processor to do all my videos and stuff, but at the same time, I really want to utilize my PVR that I have. So if any of you have any kind of an opinion as to whether these laptops are actually better for PVR usage and stuff like that, or is that what you use? Do you prefer having a solid tower and a stationary computer, PC monitor setup? Do you like having the availability and the portability of having the laptop? Kind of let me know in the comments, because I really don't know which direction to go, and that really is my next big purchase is a PC. I need one really bad. So again, so the PS4 is it. I've already got the money set aside for it, and for 3 games right now. Very pumped. Already paid off my GTA5 game, and I also kind of raised my pre-order up from the regular strategy guide to the special edition strategy guide with art book, which is going to be fantastic. So this is a game that I really want to get the most out of. I'm very, very excited. I'm a huge fan of Rockstar, a huge fan of the GTA series, frankly, right back since the very first GTA 3. I never played 1 and 2, but GTA 3 to me was really the pioneer of the open world sandbox games, next to Driver 1 and 2, of course, for the PlayStation. But it's going to be a fantastic game, so I honestly just can't wait. I'm also looking forward. I just saw another wonderful trailer for Wolfenstein: The New Order. It's fantastic. God, the story is looking better and better. I'm seeing incredible photorealistic cutscenes. I just saw some new FPS scenes from it that look fantastic. It's going to be over the top. And I'm also seeing additional screenshots and getting little tidbits on the new Mad Max game. So those are my 2 biggest anticipated games of 2014. Is Mad Max, Wolfenstein: The New Order, and The Crew. I think those ones are going to be my favorites. The Witness, which is very much like the original PC game Myst, or the Myst that I played on, for me, the PlayStation 1. I'm very excited about it. It looks like a very interesting, colorful, and unique puzzle game, especially designed for the PlayStation 4 as an exclusive. I'm very pumped about that as well. So far for me, Forza 5 is the only thing that's going to be a giant draw. And if they have a Forza Horizon 2, I certainly would be all over that as well. So I'll probably have to wait till the spring on that one. But it's going to be a fantastic Christmas. I'm going to be going down, and typically I take a big trip down to LA or San Francisco in the midsummer, and I just haven't had time. Work has just been kind of taking over. So I had a couple gaming buddies I wanted to see down in LA, and I'm going to have to wait till Thanksgiving. I'm going to probably take the bulk of a week off and go down and see family down in Orange County in Los Angeles. And it's going to be wonderful to be down there. I have 2 gaming buddies in particular. Both of you know who you are. I'm going to be popping in and seeing you, and it's going to be fantastic to catch up and kind of touch base with the people that are only just names on Twitter or faces that I see on their YouTube videos. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to that. I just can't wait for this Christmas. I think it's going to be a wonderful Christmas, wonderful holiday season. Finally getting settled into my new house and just slowly getting my bank account, back up to normal, and my savings back up, saving for the new PC, and certainly setting aside the money for that PS4. That's going to be my birthday gift and my Christmas gift, according to my wife, which is fine. That'll be fine. It's a big treat. I'm very much looking forward to that. So, and then who knows what other wonderful indie games we have. Now they're talking about Starbreeze possibly doing another Riddick game. Vin Diesel just reported something about that. That could be a lot of fun. That's another game I need to get back to, is I have a special edition of that Riddick, the Chronicles of Riddick, Escape from Butcher Bay, and Assault on Dark Athena, and I need to finish that one as well. So right now, I actually have the rest of the week. I'm recording this on a Thursday. I get Friday, Saturday, and Sunday left. I have 1 appointment tomorrow morning. Other than that, I have it's like a 3-day weekend where I can actually do some gaming. So I may go back and try to finish Metro Last Light, which I started and was having an incredible immersive time with that, and then I got sidetracked with more games, more work, more crap in my life. So there's so many games that have suffered. BioShock Infinite too. I'm like 65% of the way through that. Certainly need to finish that one as well. So, and I just bought SSX as well, which is a wonderful snowboard game, which I wish I had bought from day one. It's actually better than I thought it was. I just kind of saw a couple random reviews recently. I was playing the Stoke Big Air Edition, which came out in '09 for the Xbox 360 as an exclusive, and that to me is the best snowboarding game out. It's very realistic, not as cartoony and way out there with the tricks and the massive air and stuff that you get, with SSX. But it's a very, very challenging and fun, realistic snowboarding game. Kind of open world. We can go down the mountains any way you like, discover new routes and stunts and jumps along the way, kind of like SSX. So this weekend I'm going to probably be playing a little SSX, and I'm going to try to get through some more of Metro Last Light, because once GTA5 comes, that's it. I'm pushing everything aside and I'm going to focus just on that. So anyway, that's kind of what's happening with my gaming. I just did, and I'll show right now, a picture of my new Twisted Metal art. This is the first gaming art that I've done. I just sent a couple days ago Mark Bustler of Classic Game Room an email showing he's very excited. He goes, yeah, I saw your tweet that you sent, and I'm really pumped. Thanks so much. So he's looking forward to seeing it when it's all done, and I'm going to mail it to him, and he'll have it in the background of his new set, which he has, new Intergalactic Space Arcade, as he calls it. So Mark Bustler has been a tremendous amount of fun. In fact, I had a trip planned to fly back to Pittsburgh and see him, and we had to put it off because he has this big move that he's doing presently right now. He's still trying to get everything set up with his new intergalactic space station. So he's having a lot of fun with that, and his views are off the chart. I mean, Mark was really the very first person on the internet to really talk about gaming and do videos. So the guy is incredible. I have a playlist on my channel that has all of his older videos with his old partner Dave, which are just hilarious. It's a lot of fun watching those and going back. I also have some interviews that I did with Mark. You'll see on my playlist channel. There's a couple. I have three of them, a three-part interview with Mark Bustler about my art and kind of us going back about our favorite games and how I discovered his channel and all that. So he's very pumped about the painting, and I can't wait to do that. That's going to be the beginning of this winter. When things slow down, I'm going to really start cranking out the gaming art, so which I'm very pumped about. So probably do a Wolfenstein one, either an old retro one or something new, maybe one for the game Doom with some old school graphics on that. So I'm going to do some contemporary, newer gaming things. This new Mad Max game coming out, I definitely might do a little painting of that. Some of them will be huge, 5 feet big. Some will be very small, and I can hang up here behind my head on my set here and show as I'm doing them. I'm going to try to have the prices affordable. So you're getting original custom gaming art that no one has ever seen. Contour cut out around the outside shape, and they're going to be very dynamic, very unique, very unusual. So, I mean, if people can go out and spend, mega bucks for these little figurines and for these, Lancers from Gears of War and all that, spend $1,000 for a fraction of that, they can have some really unique original gaming art, which would kind of be, would be unique and be cool, I think. So that's kind of what I've got at my sleeves. And then I have a new intro for my new Escape from Cinema show, and that's the last thing I kind of want to talk about. I'm still in the process. There's just limited closet space here, so I have everything in boxes and are somewhat categorized, but I need virtually a day, and I might be able to take some time this weekend finally and get to that and finish going through the boxes. I went through all my old VHS boxes and organized them. Now I'm going to go through, thousands, another 4,000 DVDs or whatever I've got, there. So I'm going to take those out of boxes. I'll try to take pictures or maybe take my camera and go through and do some panning showing the different, how many I have. It would take a whole room to kind of display them all, so I don't know how I'm going to show them. But I'm going to start doing those, my top 10 and 20 or whatever, favorite action films, sci-fi, classics, movies as they relate to video games, ones that are similar to GTA, like the movie Heat, The Town, fantastic games, fantastic films that, there's a lot of derivative elements that have been used for gaming, as we've seen. The movie Aliens, that's been, emulated so many times with video games as well. So there's going to be some wonderful things that I'm going to be working on. I'm hoping to get the channel to grow a little bit and have like a smorgasbord of, of escapism from the way of films, music, everything, gaming. And so I can share this wonderful world that we live in of escapism. We're in kind of a tough times where I don't even like watching the news anymore with seeing what's going on around me. I'm aware of it. I see it, believe me, on my news feed on my computer. But I refuse to watch the news anymore. It's just so negative. I don't like negative gaming reviews. I'm really getting tired of the jaded gamer jaded people. Everything is meh. Oh, nothing impresses them anymore. And it's discouraging to me. I like people that are up. I like people that are positive, that have something good to say, something to contribute to gaming, something to contribute to humanity at the end of the day. And that, to me, is what it's all about. So I encourage you to share that passion with me, because there's a lot of wonderful things. We're living in tough times in some respects, but on the other hand, technology's never been cheaper. Games, frankly, have never been cheaper. I mean, I used to pay, $40 and $50 for games back in the 80s. It'd be like paying $120 for a game today. So, frankly, you can go out and for $8 to $12 get a lot of great games that were just, $60 a year or so ago. So it's amazing how affordable gaming is. Even used consoles. I was at my mom and pop store the other day looking at, used Xbox 360 and PS3s are just dirt cheap now. And, I just got my little PS2 for $40. So it's very encouraging that we have the accessibility for movies and games. They're the cheapest they've ever been. I mean, I had these old, RCA video discs back in the early 80s that were, $65 to $105 a piece per film. Today you can get a DVD for, $5 on eBay. It's like nothing. And the quality is so much superior. So we're living in good times. A lot of good technological times. We're getting a rich variety of stories in gaming genres now like never before. So I want to bring that and share that with all of you on my channel with my escape to gaming, and then eventually kind of segueing into a little bit of my escape to cinema, which I'm going to be doing. And I'll have a few of those, not as many of the gaming shows, but I think a lot of you would love to see what I think are great films. And I want to share that with you because there's just so many great gems that you're probably missing out on, that you just didn't hear about for whatever reason. Or maybe you saw a hacked up version on TV and wasn't impressed. But believe me, I know a lot about films, and I can't wait to share that with you. So anyway, that's kind of the end of my little vlog. Thanks for taking the time to watch it. Again, have a wonderful time with GTA5. I know that's where many of us are going to be, our focus is going to be. I can't wait. My wife is already kind of rolling her eyes because she sees it coming. She remembers when I used to call her at Vice City, and I'd call her on the phone at work. Hey, I'm home. I just made it through this level finally. She goes, oh, that's great, sweetie. She'd roll her eyes or whatever. But she kind of sees it coming again with this GTA5, and she's already prepared for it. So she actually went down and reserved my special art book strategy guide for me the other day, which I thought was pretty cool. So she's been quite supportive, and she'll be having to endure a lot of filming and loud screaming and shouting matches in front of my TV with GTA5 coming up. So anyway, have a wonderful time and enjoy the your backlog of games of the summer, and definitely have a blast with this GTA5. So thanks again, guys, and really enjoy those games.